Well, Mr. Chairman, let me just say, first off, I've read all the bills that you're sponsoring, and I know that if you read the bills, there is no attempt to invalidate any legitimate votes by American citizens in this country, and I have supported those bills because they don't do that. If they were trying to take away the votes of people who didn't agree with my policies, I would be absolutely opposed to that, because that is a violation of the principles of a democratically run republic. And I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Now, moving on, let me just talk about vote by mail for a minute. I have never voted by mail. I will never vote by mail. I think there are all kinds of problems with vote by mail, and I know that I've heard people saying this, that, and the other, but here's the concern I have. Sometimes you're going to have people who do bad things. Sometimes you have people who may think they're doing the right thing and violate the law. And with vote by mail, you can't figure that out sometimes. And I'm going to give you the example of vote by mail, and then I'm going to talk about another one. God rest her soul, my mother lived to be 92. For the last 30, 40 years of her life, she lived with my sister. I trust my sister. My mother had her competency till the day she, well, about 3 days before she passed away, she went comatose. But until, when she was casting a vote, it was her casting it, whether it was in person or otherwise. But in a lot of households, you have an elderly family member, they receive a ballot in the mail, son or daughter or caretaker is very likely, even if they think, well, I know that mom was of this political party or another, they're not supposed to be voting if she's not competent and can't cast that vote herself. And yet, can either one of you tell me that you're not at least aware that's a possibility with mail-in votes? Mr. Simon?
Representative, anything's possible.
I understand. And Mr. Schwab?
I'd say the way Kansas has signature verification and voter ID ahead of that mail ballot, it really limits that from happening in our states. I think signature verification is key to preventing exactly what you're saying.
Well, and let me just say this. I get what you're saying, but my wife copies my signature every day because I'm not there. Now, I've given her a power of attorney so she can do it, and she has my permission. And my sister can do an exact replica to this day of my mother's signature. How are you going to do signature verification? You don't have, she's not doing pen lifts or any of the things you would normally look for in a fraudulent document. How are you going to verify that?
Cheaters are going to cheat. Mistakes are going to happen. But I don't know of any way you
Our
can.
job is to try to keep the cheaters from being able to cheat. And in the case of my family member, our job is to make it clear you're not supposed to be doing that as a favor to mom. And that creates a problem. And then I've got this other problem, and Mr. Simon, it deals with your situation and the gentleman who voted illegally. And you said, well, he made some statements that weren't accurate because he got a statement that said in it that, you're not supposed to vote unless you're a U.S. citizen. But we're sending these statements out to people or having people look at these things, because when you do motor voter and you sign up for a driver's license and you get the application or you do it right there, we have a lot of people coming into this country, God bless them, the ones who are coming in legally still don't necessarily have a full command of the English language. So if you have that document being checked off in the English language, I submit to you, they quite frankly, in many cases, may not realize what they've checked or what they've signed. And then they get a voter registration card in the mail, and they're told look, I've run lots of ads, and they're told to go vote. And I think when you don't do citizenship verification, you are causing people to perhaps be inadvertent or accidental felons. And as a recovering criminal defense attorney, I hate it when the law sets people up to make felonious mistakes, and I think that's what the laws that don't have citizenship checked do. They set it up for people who can't read or write English well to commit felonies without actually creating the mens rea to do so. And that's why I support a lot of the legislation that is intended to make sure only U.S. citizens get to vote. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.